and as ideas are that which result in the cause and effect experiences, then it stands to reason that the ideas we agree to, that we create, or those of others we agree to, alter the mechanics of the body vehicle in such a way that affords the experience based on the idea agreed with, or whatever idea we have created. Ideas, thoughts, emotions, what we choose, decide, and chase are all created ideas, and are added on top of our real selves, acting as filters of a kind. So it suggests then that the true light of the is, in whatever form it reaches the body vehicle, is a baseline of information. If we were connected to the is through awareness, we would be receiving the light in its more real form. But isolated and disconnected in creation, we receive it in its tampered down form, as it flows from the is and down through the creational life levels to the physical. If we were to create nothing while in the physical level, then the light information would reach our body vehicles, and everyone's experience, therefore, their computer game, would be the same, as they have made no adjustments to the data of the information received. But if, as we do, we start to add our own ideas to this state of awareness, as we transition from animal form to a form where we have free will, and begin to create and bring cause and effect to bear, then we are adjusting the receiving mechanism of our biological body computers. We are inserting a program that an idea in fact is. This then takes the information that would have forged a reality baseline and adds a component to it that alters the information being received, maybe blocks something or skews it slightly, and if the information is not the same, then the reality we holographically experience must change. We would decide on certain things, agree with certain ideas, be emotionally attached with ideas also, and all of this adjusts the mechanical body computer that it places blocks on our ability to decode the information in the light of the is. As a theory, the light or information must contain the full potential of every conceivable experience. In animal form, this evidently isn't the case, but then prior to free will being acquired, an animal is in its state of awareness. It's in creation, but connected to the is. It simply lacks the ability to recognize this. When free will kicks in, individuals move from a state of awareness and begin utilizing the free will. begin creating and forging experience. The moment free will is granted, the individual is no longer in a state of awareness and locked very much in the mechanics of creation and the cause and effect nature of it. Now the individuals receive the full potentiality of the dampened down light of experience of the ease, and with everything they create, everything they decide, choose, chase, and agree with, they block and limit certain experiences and maintain others, refining the information to reflect a personal unique experience based on the blocks they have placed on the full magnitude of possibility. And as an example, if someone generates ideas of a very aggressive nature, churning out emotional thoughts and considerations, creations along these lines, then they place blockers upon all the aspects of the complete information that would afford them experiences contrary to the ideas they are generating. But the channels of information, in keeping with what they decide, would remain open, and so their aggressive, orientated way of being is experienced, as only these parts of the information contained in the light will they receive, and then decode into their reality, into their experience. That is why we would say that if you stand real in the new nowness of the is in creation, you are beyond cause and effect. A cause and effect experience can only be generated if you are disconnected from the true reality. Your vehicles are receiving the light information in its lessened form, and you are decoding it into your experience, based on the blocks in place and the channels left open, in accordance with the ideas you agree with and create, that cause these blocks and channels to be in place. If you are in the new nowness, the mechanics of this automatic decoding and producing experience is shut down. You have effectively stepped into the position of the one playing the computer game, and have turned off the computer, which represents your 5-body experience generating mechanic. And with the computer turned off, it's no longer receiving the information to decode onto the screen for your game, and there you sit as the real you. And yes, you can turn on the computer again and reactivate the mechanics of creation. You can start feeding the computer with the information for the game to be back on the screen, but it is now your choice to do so. For those who indulge the personal self, then go back into the new nowness, this won't stop then the cause and effect, because it is like turning the computer on, playing a little, having the decoded experience, then switching it off for brief periods. To stand completely in the new nowness would have the game off permanently. In other words, the information has ceased flowing through the computer to form the experience on the screen. We have stepped into a position where the mechanics of decoding the information in whatever way we have chosen to filter into our experience has stopped, with a slight variation in that when we do dip into the mechanics of creation to create something as a benefit, if we have the awareness and intent and sincerity, the cause and effect is taken care of. It's like we turn on the computer. The information starts to flow, but the guides sit in front of the screen and play the game. They take care of the karma, the cause and effect experience we have exacted through our beneficial is sharing creating. But then again, we would want to cause experience that has us sharing with other individuals. If we were to remain in a state of awareness and didn't activate the mechanics of creation, we could produce a cause and effect experience that resulted in our presenting of the is. Everything in creation is based on agreement. Only through agreement to an idea can the experience that stems from it feature in your reality. If we take this theoretical, mechanical, literal model here, the idea agreed with, the nature of the idea, will block and filter out all other aspects of the complete informational data that wouldn't be aligned with this idea, and so what we decode into our experience would be everything that is required to bring forth the experience that the idea represents. If we decided to want to be a doctor and focused on this want, for with any idea we can fluctuate between them, and our focus can fluctuate too. And as creation is a reflection and an experience provider, it simply produces experience through its mechanics in accordance with the want or desire. The experience won't be instantaneous. To reach point B from point A will require a series of experiential moments. One can't simply wish to be a doctor and it is so. So the focus on the idea is necessary. A lack of focus and the desire is less likely or impossible to manifest. So we want to be a doctor, and we focus on this. We will place filters in our decoding vehicle apparatus that blocks any part of the information that is not in keeping with this want. And if we don't decode information, it can't feature on our screens, in our experience. Then the only information allowed through is all of which that when decoded provides us the experience we seek. We are creating the game we want to play by adjusting the information. So when decoded, it produces the very experience we wish to have. But most are unconscious to this process, and so they will be creating their own personal computer games, and very often they may not be to their liking, or far less than they would have liked. Naturally, if a situation is less than we would want, that want or desire alters the blocks on the information received that the experience then decoded will alter in accordance with that which we now are deciding upon. But we must be cautious, as the creational matrix affords us what we want, regardless of its nature, and we can inadvertently make decisions and create ideas that produce experiences we'd rather not have. If we decide that we are a victim, as an example, if we identify with this idea, then we will apply the various blocks on all the parts of the information that would afford us any experience in contradiction to what is a decided upon idea. Such statements, which are nothing other than adding thought ideas and considerations onto experiences, and experiences we have created for ourselves incidentally, will be sure to give us the very experiences that mirror these statements, and a focus on these self-decided views of ourselves will have experiences of this nature maintained. We don't simply have individual experiences. We don't all have our own computer games to play, and have no interaction with others or their created games. We share collective experience also. Everything is based on agreement, and so we can only share another's experience if we agree or decide or create along the same lines or similar. In fact, an individual cannot feature in our experience at all, unless what we agree with is similar to that individual, or their experience as a result of cause and effect is at such odds with our own that we simply cannot share the same experience. We are effectively playing completely different computer games. So the elements or features of our experiences that we share with others are based on agreement to the idea that the aspect of creation stemmed from. And the more ideas we all agree with that are the same, the more our experiences become closer, and we effectively share a collective reality, with room for our own unique ideas and creations that result in experience unique to us, information that we decode into our realities that others cannot experience unless they agree to the same ideas and thus receive the same information. The controllers, of course, know this. They are limited in their awareness. They can only see to a certain point, and they certainly do lack the awareness and recognition to understand how the demise they are creating and getting everyone to agree to is a demise they also are sharing and will experience.